Welcome to my Expat Stories. This one's about guilt money. When you get paid to leave while your friends stay behind. When redundancy feels like winning and surviving feels like betraying. When you've got more money than you've ever had and they're still on the line. Still working, still struggling. So you share it. You fund their escape, their holidays, their dreams. You become their hero, their legend, their reason to celebrate. And it feels good. Feels right. Feels like redemption. Until the money runs out, until the trips stop, until the legend ends, until you discover that funding everyone's good time doesn't make you family, just makes you the bank. And banks with empty vaults get forgotten fast. If you've ever paid for love disguised as friendship, hit like and subscribe. Because Terry's about to show you what happens when redundancy money becomes guilt relief and being everyone's hero costs everything you have. Here's Terry. I'm Terry, 60, Stoke-on-Trent, factory man. Was a factory man. Press metal. Same line. Same station. Same job. Decades. The kind of work that breaks your body slowly. Joints aching. Back stiff. Hands numb from vibration. Ears ringing from machinery. The smell of metal and oil in your clothes. In your hair. In your skin. The kind of work that pays bills but steals years. That keeps you alive but doesn't let you live. The redundancy announcement came sudden. Company downsizing, moving production overseas, cheaper labour, better margins. Corporate speak for we don't need you anymore. They offered packages. Voluntary first, then mandatory. I was on the mandatory list. Too old, too expensive, too many at top-tier wages. They wanted me gone, offered £150,000 to leave. Redundancy, severance, payoff. Whatever you call it. 150 grand for walking away from the only job I'd known, the only identity I'd had. Factory Terry, line Terry. The reliable one, the steady one. Gone, retired, replaced, paid off. I took it. What choice did I have? Sign the papers, collect the money, clear your locker, hand in your badge, walk out the gates one last time while your mates are still inside, still working, still on the line. Still doing what you did yesterday, what you'd do tomorrow if they'd let you stay. But they won't. You're redundant, surplus, unnecessary, expensive, old, done. The guilt hit immediately, walking out those gates with a check while the lads were clocking in for another shift. Danny, Frank, Tomo, Pete, all of them, still inside, still working, still facing another decade of press metal and machinery noise and aching joints, while I had £150,000, while I was free, while I was done. It felt wrong, felt unfair, felt like I'd abandoned them, left them behind, escaped while they stayed trapped. I didn't know what to do with myself. With the money, with the sudden absence of routine, for decades I'd wake, dress, drive, clock in, work, clock out, drive home, sleep, repeat. Now nothing. Just empty days. Just money in the account. Just guilt. Constant guilt. Survivor's guilt maybe, winner's guilt. The guilt of being the one who got out. I'd meet the lads at the pub. Friday nights, our routine. They'd come straight from shift. Oil on their hands, exhaustion in their faces. Order pints. Talk about the line. About the new manager. About the targets. About the pressure. About getting older. About bodies breaking down. About how much longer they could keep going. And I'd sit there, retired, wealthy, free, saying nothing, contributing nothing, just listening, just feeling guilty, just knowing I had what they wanted and feeling like I'd stolen it. Danny said it one night, 3 pints in, loose tongue. All right for some, innit? Terry sitting on a fortune while we're still grinding. Must be nice, mate. Must be lovely. It wasn't meant cruel, just observation, just truth. Just him acknowledging what everyone thought, what everyone knew. Terry got lucky, Terry got paid, Terry got out, while they stayed, while they suffered, while they counted down to their own redundancies, their own exits, their own payoffs that might never come, or might come smaller, or might come too late. I wanted to fix it, wanted to ease the guilt, wanted to share the luck, wanted them to feel what I felt, free, unshackled, able to breathe without shift schedules and quota pressures and machinery noise. I made a decision. Probably stupid, definitely expensive, certainly driven by guilt, but felt right, felt necessary, felt like redemption. Lads, I'm moving to Manila. Philippines, cheap living, warm weather, different life. And I want you to visit. Regular visits, my treat, flights, accommodation, everything, once a month, different rotation, so you all get time away, time off, time to experience something different, something that isn't the factory, something that isn't Stoke. Let me do this. Let me share this. Please. They were quiet, processing, confused. Terry, that's mental, that's too much. We can't let you do that. You can, I want to. I've got the money. You've got the time off. Holiday days. Let's use it, let's do something. Let's make this redundancy mean something beyond me sitting alone with guilt money. Frank spoke up. If you're serious, mate, if you really mean it, I'm in. I'd kill for a break. For somewhere that isn't here, for something different. They all agreed. All of them. Danny, Tomo, Pete. All in. All willing. All wanting escape. Even temporary. Even funded. Even knowing it was Terry's guilt paying for it. They didn't care. Or they did care but wanted it anyway. Wanted the break. The adventure. The story. The something different that factory life never gave them. I flew to Manila 2 weeks later. Found a flat. Quezon City. 2-bedroom. Basic. Comfortable. Air conditioning that worked. Hot water. Clean. Quiet enough. About 400 quid. I didn't need much. Didn't want luxury, just needed space. Base. Somewhere the lads could stay. Somewhere we could live when they visited. Somewhere that wasn't Stoke. Wasn't factory. Wasn't routine. Wasn't reminders of what I'd escaped. I booked Danny's flight first, 2 weeks after I arrived. Return ticket. 1 week stay. 800 quid. He arrived wide-eyed. Overwhelmed. Manila is chaos, traffic, noise, heat, humidity. Jeepneys everywhere, street vendors. Smells of street food mixing with exhaust. Grilled meat. Fried fish. Smoke. Everything hitting at once. Overwhelming. Exciting. Foreign. Different. Everything Stoke wasn't. We hit the bars that first night. Burgos Street, Makati. Girly bars. Beer bars. Go-go bars. Everything. Danny's first time experiencing it. First time seeing it. First time understanding what Philippines offers. What Manila provides. What money buys here. He was like a kid. Eyes wide and a smile permanent. Terry, this is incredible. This is unreal. Thank you, mate. Seriously, thank you. We spent $1,000 that week. Bars, restaurants, day trips, activities, everything. I paid. All of it. Danny tried to contribute. I wouldn't let him. This is on me. This is the point. You're here because I want you here. Because I need you here. Because the guilt is less when you're here. When you're experiencing this. When you're escaping too. Even temporarily. He went home buzzing. Talking about it. Posting about it. Facebook, Instagram. Photos everywhere. Him and me at bars. At restaurants. At tourist spots. Captions about legend Terry. About the mate who makes dreams happen. About living the dream courtesy of Terry. The lads back in Stoke saw it. Commented. Liked. Shared. Wanted their turn. Wanted their week. Wanted their escape. Wanted their Terry-funded Manila experience. Frank came next, then Tomo, then Pete, then Danny again, rotating. Monthly visits. Different mate. Same routine. Airport pickup. Week of bars and food and activities. Week of escape. Week of not thinking about factory. Not thinking about Stoke. Not thinking about aging bodies and grinding work and limited futures. Just experiencing. Just living. Just being tourists. Just being free. Temporarily. Expensively. Completely funded by Terry's guilt money. The spending added up. 800 for flights. 500 for week's activities. 300 for food and bars. 1,600 quid per visit. Per mate. Monthly. 12 visits annually. 19,200 quid. Just on the lads' visits. Plus my 400 monthly rent. Plus my living costs. Plus everything else. I was spending £25,000 annually. Minimum. On guilt, on friendship. On being the legend. On funding everyone's escape. On buying appreciation. On purchasing love disguised as gratitude. The social media presence grew. Every visit documented. Every night out posted. Every activity shared. The lads tagging me, thanking me, calling me legend, calling me the hero, calling me the mate who changed their lives, who gave them something to look forward to, who made factory life bearable because once a month someone got to escape, got to visit Terry, got to experience Manila, got to live differently, temporarily. But still, it was something. It was hope. It was break from monotony. And it was all Terry, all funded by redundancy money, all paid for by guilt and generosity, and desperate need to matter, to be loved, to be appreciated, to be someone, to be the legend. Their wives started coming, then partners, then adult kids. The visits expanded, not just one mate, but mate plus one, sometimes plus two. The costs doubled, tripled. 2 flights, 3 flights, more activities, more restaurants, more everything. I didn't say no, couldn't say no. Saying no meant being selfish, meant hoarding, meant not sharing, meant being the guy with money who wouldn't help, who wouldn't fund, who wouldn't be the legend anymore. Just be Terry. Regular Terry. Forgettable Terry. Alone Terry. I was spending £40,000 annually now. On visits, on being loved, on maintaining legend status, on social media presence, on everyone back in Stoke knowing Terry's living the dream. Terry's the generous one. Terry's the hero. Terry's the mate everyone wants. Everyone needs. Everyone appreciates. The likes, the comments, the shares, the gratitude, the appreciation. It felt good, felt validating, felt like the redundancy meant something, like the money was doing something important, something meaningful, something more than just sitting in an account growing slowly. It was buying experiences, memories, appreciation, love. Except it wasn't love. It was transaction. But I didn't see it, didn't want to see it. Wanted to believe the lads appreciated me. Not the funding, not the free trips, not the escape, but me, Terry, the mate who'd worked beside them, who'd shared decades on the line, who understood them, who cared, who wanted them to experience something, wanted them to have what I had, wanted them to feel free, wanted them to matter, just like I wanted to matter, needed to matter, desperately needed to be more than redundant factory worker with guilt money, needed to be the legend, the hero, the loved one. Month 15. I checked the account. Routine check. See what's left. See how I'm doing. The number showed £38,000 from 150 in 15 months. 112,000 spent. That's £7,460 monthly. More than I'd calculated. More than I'd planned. More than sustainable. At current rate, 5 more months. Maybe 6. Then 0, then done. Then legend ends. Then funding stops. Then what? I didn't tell the lads. Didn't mention the depleting account. Didn't share the calculations. Didn't want to spoil it. Didn't want to introduce reality. Didn't want to acknowledge the end was approaching. Just kept booking flights. Kept funding visits. Kept being the legend. Kept buying love. Kept maintaining hero status. Even knowing it was temporary. Even knowing 0 was coming. Even knowing legend had an expiration date. Just kept going. Kept spending. Kept being Terry the generous. Terry the hero. Terry the loved one. Danny's son came visit 16. 23. Factory worker himself. Following his father. Same line. Same future. Same trap. He needed escape more than Danny did. Needed to see there was something else. Something beyond Stoke. Beyond factory. Beyond the life his father lived. The life I'd lived. The life we'd all lived until redundancy saved me. Condemned me. Freed me. Trapped me. Both. Simultaneously. We spent more that visit. Danny wanted to show his son everything. Every bar, every restaurant, every activity, every escape. Everything Terry funded. Everything Terry provided. Everything Terry made possible. £2,000 that week. Double normal. But worth it. Seeing Danny's son experience. Seeing him smile. Seeing him understand there's more. There's different. There's escape. Even if temporary. Even if funded. Even if returning to Stoke and factory and routine is inevitable. At least he'd seen. At least he knew. At least Terry gave him that. Even if it cost everything. Even if it accelerated the end. Even if 0 came faster. Month 17. 22,000 left. 3 months maybe. 4 if I cut back. If I reduced spending. If I said no to extras. if I limited activities, if I stopped being the legend, if I became regular Terry, boring Terry, careful Terry, the one who counts costs, who manages budgets, who thinks about future, but that Terry wasn't loved, that Terry wasn't legend, that Terry was just another factory worker with some money, not special, not hero, not worthy of monthly visits and social media posts and endless gratitude. So I didn't cut back, kept spending, kept funding, kept being the legend, even as zero approached, even as end loomed, even as reality waited. Tomo brought his wife visit 18. She'd wanted to come, wanted to see Manila, wanted to experience what Tomo talked about, what Facebook showed, what everyone posted about, the Terry experience, the Manila escape, the legend's hospitality. I couldn't say no, couldn't be the one who denied, who limited, who said actually can't afford two anymore, can't fund partners, can't maintain this, just me now, just mates, just basics. Because that admission meant weakness, meant failure, meant the legend was ending, was mortal, was human, was broke. Couldn't have that. Not yet. Not while there was money. Not while I could still be the hero. So they came. Both. 2 flights. 2 weeks spending. £3,000. Account showing 18,000 after. 2 months left. Maybe less. The guilt was different now. Not guilt about having money while they worked, but guilt about running out. About the end approaching. About soon being unable to fund. Unable to provide. Unable to be the legend. Unable to maintain hero status. Unable to buy love. Unable to purchase appreciation. Unable to keep them coming. Keep them posting. Keep them caring. The guilt of letting them down. Of promising implicitly forever. Of building expectation. Of creating dependency. Of making them need these visits. Need these escapes. Need Terry's funding. Then stopping. Then ending. Then saying actually it's done. Money's gone. Legend's over. Back to reality. Back to being nobody. Back to just Terry. Broke Terry. Failed Terry. Former legend Terry. Month 18. £11,000. 6 weeks maybe. 3 more visits if I rationed. If I chose carefully. If I funded selectively. Pete was scheduled next. Then Frank. Then Danny again. 3 visits. 3 mates. 3 chances to be the legend. 3 opportunities to matter. Then 0. Then silence. Then end. I told Pete first. Called him. Told him the truth. Mate, the money's running out fast. I've got maybe 6 weeks left. Then I'm done. Then I'm broke. Then the visits stop. I'm sorry, I wanted it to last. Wanted to keep doing this. Wanted to be the legend forever. But I'm not. I'm just Terry. With money that's ending. I'm sorry. He was quiet. Long quiet. Then, how much left exactly? 11 grand. That's 3 visits. Me, Frank, Danny. That's it. That's it. Then I come home. Back to Stoke. Back to broke. Back to regular. Back to nobody. Terry, mate, it's been incredible. Really. You've given us something. Something we'd never have had. Experiences, memories, hope, breaks from the grind. You've been the legend, the hero, the mate who changed everything. We appreciate it. We really do. But you won't visit when the money's gone. Won't come when Terry can't fund. Won't maintain friendship when friendship costs your own money. When the legend is broke. When the hero is regular. When Terry is just Terry. You'll appreciate the memory. Appreciate what was. But won't maintain what is. Because what is costs money. And you don't have money. And I won't have money. So it ends. Naturally. Inevitably. Transactionally. I didn't say that, just, thanks mate, means a lot. See you in a fortnight. Pete came. Last visit I funded. We spent carefully, strategically, stretched the grand, made it last, made it count, made it memorable. Because it was ending. Because this was the last. Because after Pete went home, there'd be no more flights booked, no more airport pickups, no more weeks together, no more bars and restaurants and activities, no more legend, no more hero, no more funded friendship, just memory, just photos, just social media posts that'd stop updating. That'd freeze in time. That'd become archives of when Terry was someone, when Terry mattered, when Terry was loved, temporarily, expensively, completely. Pete left. Not enough for Frank, not enough for Danny, Not enough for 2 more visits. Not enough for ending. Not enough for goodbye. Just enough for my flight home. One way. Economy. Back to Stoke. Back to reality. Back to where I started. Except broke now. Except without identity. Except without purpose. Except without the legend status. Without the hero label. Without the love. Just Terry, 62 now. Redundant factory worker who spent £150,000 in 18 months buying appreciation that disappeared the second the funding stopped. I messaged the group chat. The lads. All of them. Lads, money's gone. I'm coming home. No more visits. No more Manila. No more Terry the legend. Just Terry. Broke Terry. Sorry I couldn't keep it going. Sorry it's ending. Thanks for the 18 months. For making the redundancy mean something. For making me feel like I mattered. Like I was someone. Even if just temporarily. Even if just because I was paying. It meant something. To me at least. Hope it meant something to you too. The responses were fast. Supportive. Grateful. Thanks for everything, Terry. Legend mate. Incredible 18 months. You're the hero. Best mate ever. Changed our lives. All the words, all the appreciation, all the gratitude, all the love. Expressed, documented, posted. For everyone to see. For social media to record. For the world to know Terry was appreciated. Terry was loved. Terry was the legend. But none of them offered money. None suggested funding my return flight. None proposed splitting costs for 1 more visit. None said, actually, Terry, let me help now. Let me fund you. Let me be the legend. Let me give back. Just words. Just appreciation. Just gratitude that cost nothing. That required nothing. That maintained nothing. That ended when funding ended. That disappeared when transactions stopped. That proved it was never friendship. Never love. Never real. Just business. Just funded appreciation. Just purchased presence. Just Terry buying temporary relevance with redundancy money. And relevance ending precisely when money ended. I flew back to Stoke 3 weeks later. One-way ticket. 800 quid. Last of the money. Arriving broke. Completely broke. 150,000 spent in 18 months on being loved. On being the legend. On funding everyone's escape. On buying appreciation. On purchasing hero status. On maintaining social media presence. On mattering. Temporarily. Expensively. Completely. The flat in Stoke was small. Council housing. Waiting list was 3 months. I'm on benefits now. Universal credit. About £900 monthly, that's my life. From spending 40,000 annually to receiving 900 monthly. From legend to nobody. From hero to forgotten. From Terry the generous to Terry, the cautionary tale. The factory worker who got redundant. Got paid, got stupid. Spent everything. Became nothing. I see the lads sometimes, around Stoke. At the pub occasionally. They're friendly. All right, Terry, how you doing, mate? Distant, careful, like I'm fragile, like I'm embarrassing. Like I'm a reminder of what not to do. What happens when you spend redundancy on being loved? When you buy friendship? When you fund appreciation? When you mistake transaction for connection? When you think paying for visits means they care? When you confuse being the legend with being loved? When you learn the hard way that love ends when money ends? That legends are temporary? That heroes are expensive? That appreciation is purchased? That friendship is funded? That mattering costs everything? And broke people don't matter? The social media presence died immediately. The group chat went silent. The photos stopped being liked. The posts stopped being shared. The comments stopped coming. The legend became archive. The hero became history. Terry the generous became Terry the gone. Out of sight, out of mind, out of money, out of relevance, out of love. I tried posting once, a month after returning. Photo of Stoke. Caption. Back home. Different life now. Miss Manila. Miss the lads' visits. Miss being the legend. Miss mattering. 3 likes. No comments. The social media had moved on. The audience had found new content. The legend was yesterday's story. Terry was yesterday's hero. The appreciation was yesterday's transaction. All gone, all forgotten, all irrelevant. Because Terry stopped funding, stopped providing, stopped being useful, stopped mattering. Became just another 62-year-old broke former factory worker living on benefits in a council flat. Nothing special, nothing interesting, nothing worth following, nothing worth remembering, nothing worth loving. Danny texted once, 2 months after I returned. Terry mate, just checking in. You doing all right? Settling back in okay? Guilt text maybe. Obligation text. The text that maintains appearance of friendship without requiring anything, without costing anything, without funding anything. Just words. Meaningless words. I'm broke, Danny. Completely broke. Spent everything on you lot. On 18 months of being the legend. Of funding your escapes. Of buying your appreciation. Of purchasing your presents. Of thinking we were mates, were friends, were family. But we weren't. We were transaction. I funded, you visited. I paid, you appreciated. I bought, you consumed. Then it ended. Like all transactions end. When one party can't pay, can't provide, can't maintain, then it's done. Then they leave. Then you're alone. Then you realise it was never real. Never love. Never friendship. Just business. Just expensive business that cost me everything and gave me nothing except 18 months of feeling like I mattered, like I was someone, like I was loved. All lies, all expensive lies, all purchased lies, all gone now. I didn't send that. Just doing fine, mate. Thanks for checking in. He never texted again. I never expected him to. The checking in was duty, obligation, the final gesture, the last minimal effort. Then done. Then moving on, then forgetting, then Terry becoming story, cautionary tale, the mate who got redundant, got paid, got stupid, spent everything on being loved, learned love can't be bought, learned appreciation is temporary, learned legend status is expensive, learned mattering costs everything, learned broke people don't matter, learned the hard way, the only way some people learn, the expensive way, the everything way. The way that leaves you 62 and broken alone and knowing exactly how much love costs. £150,000. 18 months. Then zero, then nothing. Then silence. Then forgotten. Then alone. Forever. This is my expat stories. Sometimes guilt money buys temporary love but permanent loneliness. And being everyone's hero costs everything and leaves you nobody.